Okay guys, so we're gonna start off by cleaning my nephew's rods. I just put these rods and reels together for him. He just upgraded from the Abu Garcia closed face. It was a 2-bearing, and we fish a lot of beach, and that 2-bearing system is just not working for him anymore. And not just that, it's a closed face, so you know it gets really gunked up really easily, and a lot of stuff gets inside there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean out these 2 spinning reels and for him, and for the next time we go out doing some catfishing. So let's get started. First, you know, you're gonna need a little bit of WD-40. I'm not gonna use a grease today. I usually use a white dry grease after I'm done cleaning this up, because WD-40 is not a grease. WD-40 is just it's a sealant that cleans. It's a it lubricates as it cleans, so it's not really like using water, rust up your items and stuff like that. It's a cleaner. So what you want to do is you want to spray it into your things, you know, let it sit, and then work them a little bit, work your gears a little bit, and then spray it one more time as soon as you start to get those loose ends and stuff like that. And when you start to get that better feel, you don't feel the grinds anymore, spray it one more time, let it sit, let everything just fall out of there, whatever gunk or dirt you created grinding all those pieces up. And then you're gonna want to use like a lubricant, or the white, I use a white dry lubricant, the kind you know you use for your hinges kind of, or you can use just a regular like a grease, something like that. But that's just my preference. The grease I don't like to use too much, because if dirt does get in there, it sticks to the grease. The white lubricant, if it sticks to the white lubricant, it actually eventually rolls off or falls off. The only downside about the white lubricant is you do have to clean and re-lube up sooner than you would with the grease. So here is my nephew's rod. It's a little Shakespeare on his old Abu Garcia closed face rod. It has the little nub still on it, but I'm gonna have to take that off for him, or we can just get him a new rod. But this is his little 4-bearing system, what we use for catfishing. It's got mono line on it. You know, I grew up using mono first. It's a really good way of learning how to get that bend and set that hook, because you can actually like really feel it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually take this up like that. We're gonna take this loose, make this all the way loose, pull this all the way down. You know, spin it all the way up, not down. There we go. So I like this all that dirt on there, sand, dirt. Same thing with that, all that sand and dirt in there. Wipe it off. And I'll give it a little bit of a wipe. Keep that to the side right over there. You can keep, I usually have a little thing where I put the things on my bucket. I work on my bucket, but I want you guys to see this a lot easier if it's facing down on this ground right here. It's too sunny over there. So we got this right here. We're gonna put this to the side. We don't really want any like WD-40 on that. Got that there. Now we're gonna take off the crank. Got Remus in the background. Crank. And I mean, you can take the rod off. I mean, the reel off the rod if you want. Since I have cozies for my rods, I just keep it on, hold everything together. See, we got that together now. We got that. Actually, make this a little bit looser. There we go. Put that to the side. That to the side. So now you have a naked reel. Give it about a little bit of that sand. A little bit dry right there. I'm gonna pull that up. And as you can see, look at all that dirt. right there. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna take a little bit of this and we're gonna spray that right in there. Let it sit. You want it to sit right in there. So that's where all that dirt's coming from. While that's sitting and it soaks into there, we're gonna get this side. You want to get it up against the bearing. Don't go into the actual hole. See right there? So if you see, I'm actually pushing on the side. And I want it in that side because the bearings on the side right here, you'll see them better. There are bearings on the side and you want it to get on the inside. All that hole is just so your crank can go right through. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can clean it out. I clean it out. I mean, it's nasty sounding anyway when you're cranking. So yeah, clean it out. But your main goal is to actually get inside that bearings, right inside that bearing system right there. Let it sit. Let it sit. And then what you can do is this. See all that dirt and mud coming off of there now? And I like to do that, like to let it spin, like to let it run. Let's get this little rag right here. So we're gonna, after we did that, get that one right there. Clean it up a little bit. Bit of drippage on that side. Drippage on that side. There we go. Oh yeah. Now I can hear a little bit of grinding in there still, a little bit of dirt, but it's not as bad anymore. And if you look at that crankshaft, it's not as dark, or it's not as murky as it was before. Keep it going, keep it going. Turn it upside down. Make sure your line's out of the way. Let it sit there. You want to be careful because actually these parts right here will fall off depending on your rod or which reel you have. So you have to be very careful not to lose those. So now that we got that done, that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. You can actually see dirt on that. We're going to clean that up before we put it back inside there. And this is just like a quick maintenance clean or anything like that. When you really, really want to clean it, I suggest using the grease or using the dry grease. It'll just keep your reels going a lot longer if you just maintain them or anything like that. It's just the maintenance in the type of reels you have, really. I find that my Abu Garcias, I really don't have to maintain them as much because the way they're put together, I don't get as much dirt or cake in there. It's actually really nice. So what we're gonna do now, we got that back on. We got the crank back on. There you go, nephew's little rod right there. We're gonna pop that back up. And we're gonna just put that back right there. That one. go. And that is a quick clean, quick maintenance for your rods. We're gonna do one more just to go over it one more time. This one's pretty dirty. This one we dropped a lot in the sand. My nephew was just going crazy. And this one I'm gonna have to clean actually inside this area too. We're gonna spray it in there a little bit. As you can see, there's sand all over this thing. So we're gonna do that. Pop the spin that. Put that down there. Just gonna do a quick clean. Look at that. All that sand in there. If you have a compressor, I suggest using compressor. Blow it out nice. Even if you have a CO2 little container, blow them out. Get all that sand out of there. Blow them out without the reel top on, but do not blow them out with the crankshaft off. If you do that, you will risk sand getting into the actual crankshaft and it just destroying it. The outside is pretty much like they're durable to where the sand is, it's impossible for them. So if you do use a compressor or compressor air, don't like shove it in there and blow, because CO2 also contains moisture. What I do is I would like move away and start from a nice distance and then move in as needed. That's how I would do that. Let's get this open. This is the one I told you they do have a tendency of bending. The cranks on these Mitchells. This is the Mitchell I was talking about. This is the Mitchell 300 8 bearing system, and it's a great reel. Like, I love reeling it in. It's just as soon as this crankshaft bent somewhere down here, somewhere in there, and it threw off the dynamics of the reeling, and it's no longer like a smooth reel. You get these like this random like stuck feeling. It just sucks because it's a really good reel. I just wish that didn't happen. So again, we're gonna spray down right into that, let it sit in there. Same thing with the shaft. Get in where the bearings are. I mean, where the crankshaft is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let that drag out. See, I pulled it out, let it move back and forth, because there is so much sand in there. So we're going to actually spray down inside here. That is one of the areas sand likes to get into. So now that we got that sprayed in like that, let's fold it out like this a little bit. Put that down. Ooh, you can see that dirt, all that dirty sand right on there. Give it a nice little wipe down. See, this reel you have to be careful with, because actually this stuff, see, like I said, it will easily come up and you can lose those, and then you're going to be sad, especially if you live on the 3rd floor like I do and your neighbors don't tell you that you have a piece of your reel sitting on their porch. There we go. Baby gorillas. Rod and reel. And put that back in here. Go. Now I'm going to put the crankshaft back in. Very sandy, very sandy. There we go. I like to clean them off, you know, do a little extra. Okay. And yes, this is how I actually put my reels. I reel right-handed and I hold the rod left-handed. That's why this is actually one of my favorite things about spinning reels, is that I can actually switch the crankshaft over and still get to use whatever reel I want. That is one of my favorite things. Baitcasters are fun and they're very technical. I think they're up there with, you know, fly fishing. Fly fishing is technical, but as soon as you get the hang of it, you have the hang of it. And the same thing with these baitcasters. Baitcasters are fun because you dial in using your lure, using the weight you're using, and it's like you're a scientist almost. You're a mad scientist or a mad engineer trying to figure out the right number and dynamic. And it's great, like especially for those professional fishermen out there who want like that exact for their rod. And that's just not the life I live. I'm sorry. That is just not me. Alright, and that was a quick cleaning tutorial. Like, you know, the main areas you want to clean, the main areas you want, you know, you don't want your rod to get gunked up in. So that was just a little quick tutorial. Like I said, the same area, same spots. You want to put a little bit of grease and a little bit of dry grease in, and then, you know, work it a little bit, not too much. Put the shaft back in, put the reel back, the spool back in, and then just do it a couple of reels, a couple more times. I mean, not the spool. Sorry, you put the crankshaft back in, and you know, spin it a couple of times. Get the feel. Make sure you got all that sand out of there, and then you put the spool back on. That is how I suggest you do that. It's turning on me. There you go. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you for fishing with Lewis, the DeadPole. Hope to see you guys out there fishing. Hope to hear more from you guys. Let's go catch some fish.